figure that out, but it happened, thank God. Waiting. Like everything in life, waiting. This is like the awkwardest time. I'm really talking to myself. Hi, Rishka. I want to see your face. This is weird. But hi. I'm going to wait like 1 more minute because I came a little late. Hi, Chaya. This is like the awkwardest parts of lives always. I have no idea how to make it less awkward. Do a little dance. Just kidding, I won't. I'm literally gonna wait like 30 more seconds and then proceed. Can I wave to you? Hi. Hi. Okay, I think I heard Sugar Nechama. I'm like 99% sure, but it's gonna be awkward if it's not, but I'm taking the bet. If it is, I'm so happy to see you, / not see you. But, you know. Oh, hi. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm just gonna start, because why not? Basically, in case you're wondering, I'm not gonna be like doing like an inside Myanmar situation. But if you have any questions or like any comments, whatever, like I can't see your faces unfortunately, but just write it there, and then I will see it as if there's some sort of interaction. First of all this learning, which won't be very long by the way, it's probably gonna be like 15 minutes or something, is for Refuah Shalema, like complete for Asaf ben Rivka. Hashem should just like complete Refuah Shalema. Okay, so just to start, there's the story that touches me like every time I hear it, of a diamond dealer. He was like this like really rich, famous diamond dealer who once went to Yechidus by one of the Rebbeim, I forget which one, and he's waiting in line and excuse me, he's waiting in line, and like the way that Yechidus works is that you wait in line for a long time. It's not just like quick go, that's it, you know. You get a time and you have to wait. Anyways, he's waiting, and in front of him is like this like really simple Jew, like not someone grandiose. And when it's his turn to go into the Rebbe, the guy in front of him's turn, the diamond dealer is waiting, but this guy is just in the Rebbe's room for like hours on end, and it's like almost 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and finally he leaves, and it's the diamond dealer's turn to go in. And when he gets inside, the Rebbe asks the Rebbe, he's like, Rebbe, like with all due respect, you know that I was next in line, and I'm like a, you know, rich person, I could support you a lot, I like, you know, I'm kind of a more important person than this other random guy that you spent hours with, like, I don't understand. And the Rebbe looked at him and he said, you are a maven in diamonds, and I am a maven in souls. Basically saying, like, I know souls, you know, the same way you know diamonds, you know the exact cut and kind that makes it a special diamond. I know souls. And so just because someone looks like something on the outside, my throat is not cooperating. It doesn't mean that, like, I know who they really are. Because that's the power of a Rebbe. So I just want to bless us all, like, going into this, that, like, we understand that the Rebbe's perspective of us knows us better than we know ourselves. And we can trust the Rebbe's perspective, because the Rebbe knows souls. So with that, I'm going to go into it. So basically, okay, if you're down for this, do it. If not, just, you don't need to. I guess that's obvious. But for a moment, just take a look like inside of yourself. I'm going to do it too. And think of the thing inside of yourself that you wish that you could like disown, so to speak. Like that you wish that if you had the chance, if somebody came over to you and said, I can get rid of this part of you for eternity, forever. You'll never have to see it again. You'll never have to deal with it again. I'll get rid of it. And maybe it's like a quality trait you have, a hobby, like not a hobby, but like a habit. Maybe it's like a relationship that is just crazy for you that you just don't want to deal with anymore. Maybe it's like a mistake that you keep making, or maybe it's like a period of life that you're in, like a cycle that you're in your life that you're waiting for something and you're not getting it, and you wish that you could just get it already, and you wish that you could just disown the waiting time, or just think of something in your life that usually, we all probably have many things like this, but choose that one thing in your life that if somebody gave you the opportunity to just get rid of this thing, maybe it's like something about your face, or something about your body, or something about your family, or your living situation, or your personality, anything really, but choose that one thing that if someone gave you the opportunity to just get rid of it, you would say, by all means, get rid of it really quickly. And if you have that thing, take a moment, like imagine that you can like hold it in your hands and just look at it. Like literally just look at it. You don't have to talk to it, you don't have to say anything, but take it out of yourself and just put it in your hands and just literally face it. And just like take a moment and see it. Sorry, this is kind of intense. It doesn't feel good to see those things. But you'll see why in a moment. Well, in a few minutes. Okay. So if you did it, awesome. If not, it's okay. So I actually went through the same mimer last year, but it's funny how like I was totally not in the space that I was in this year last year. So like the way that I processed the mimer this year is completely different than last year. But I was like watching the video that I did last year, and it's like nothing the way I'm thinking now. But anyways, the mimer starts where the Rebbe basically says, like we all know, like what's Chodesh Elul? Elul is the Rashi Tevos of Ani Ladodi V'Dodi Li, right? I am to my beloved as my beloved is to me. The king is in the field, all this fun stuff. So if you're like me in any way, I just keep thinking like, if the king is in the field, I'm like, I don't exactly know where I am because I'm not in the field if the king is there because I don't really see him around here. So what the Rebbe basically explains though as the field and as what does this mean? Ani Ladodi V'Dodi Li. It basically means being in a place where you feel like you're face to face with God. There's a riddle my mom always says that she says, what's the farthest that two people could be standing from each other? And the answer is back to back. Because even if you're on opposite sides of the world, if you're facing each other, there's a chance you could come towards each other. But if you're back to back, even if you're right near each other, but your backs are facing each other, your world's apart. And so that's essentially what the field means. It's this space, it's this time where we're with God and God is with us, and it's this Ani Ladodi V'Dodi Li. I am to my beloved and my beloved is to me. We're face to face. We're seeing each other for all that we are, And so that's essentially what Elul is about. It's internally coming to that place where we really feel like we're one with Hashem, like that we're enwrapped in this relationship and that he's looking at us just like we're looking at him, that he's not some God that abandoned us and is like far off on some throne. And we aren't some, creation that just kind of minds their own business in this world, but that we're involved with each other. We're in this relationship with each other. We're seeing into each other's eyes, and all that's around us is just some big field, like it's this endless opportunity, but for us to kind of frolic in together. Hey guys. Hi, honey. So yeah, that's El. It's coming to that place of being in. That's the field. It's coming into that internal place. But then the Rebbe, as the Rebbe tends to do, is very, very real and is not like a elusive person. And the Rebbe basically is like, how the heck do we experience that? It's something difficult to experience. Like, I don't know an average person that feels in their life like they're face to face with God on an average basis, especially the whole month of Elul. Like, that's a hard thing to feel, you know? No pun intended. It's a hard thing to field. Funny. Okay. So the Rebbe basically asks, what do we have to do to experience that? But then the Rebbe says something even cooler, which is like, actually, truth be told, it actually shouldn't even be that difficult to experience. And here's why. Once upon a time, on a mountain in Sinai, there was something called the Ten Commandments, and God descended and was like, hey guys, I will choose you forever. I'm putting my name onto you, meaning that you are the chosen people, meaning that you are being chosen to be in this relationship with me, and we are choosing each other. We're in this dance forever, like internally enmeshed with each other. And that happened then, and we have never gotten divorced. So we've essentially always been one with God. So that's number one. First of all, why should it be so difficult to experience that unity with God, to experience that inner relationship of like oneness and closeness? We've been one ever since then. How come it's so difficult? But there's not only that, literally halacha, the same halacha that says to keep Shabbos, and the same halacha that says to, keep kosher and not to eat milk and meat. That same halacha says that if a Jew does one moment of teshuvah, like one moment of feeling like, hey, I want to be close to God, they become a tzaddik gomer. They become literally a complete tzaddik, which is like the closest thing you could be to God technically, and a Baal Tshuva, which is like both of those things are like super close to God. So it basically says like you're both of those things. Number one, you're in this eternal relationship enmeshed into your body and bones with God, and number two, you're a tzaddik gomer because you definitely had those moments of teshuvah, those moments of feeling like, hey, I want to be close to God. So what is stopping you from feeling this experience of unity with God? What is stopping you? So that's the question, and the answer is pretty cool in my opinion. And basically the Rebbe says that there's only one thing in the world, literally in the world, that stops you from experiencing your closeness with God. And the Rebbe says it's not your mistakes, because it's not your mistakes, it's not your failures, it's not the cycles of bad habits that you keep going into. Because all that would be canceled out based on the eternal connection with God, and based on the fact that since those mistakes, you've had a feeling of some sort of, hey, I don't really like this kind of thing, even if it's a small little bit. And it's not, like all those things that you're blaming for lessening your closeness with God, the bad habits, the mistakes, the challenges, the traumas, the victim mentalities, all those things, it's not that. The Rebbe says the only thing that's preventing you from feeling that closeness with God that you essentially are is the little voice inside of you that when you look in the mirror stops being such a little voice and starts being a kind of loud, booming voice that says, and in Hebrew the Rebbe's words are, Mi ani uma ani. Who am I and what am I? It's like the voice that when you look in the mirror it says, who the heck are you to be feeling close to God, to be experiencing God's closeness to you? Who do you think you are to be experiencing that? And what that means in English really is, who are you to feel good? Who are you to feel worthy of a relationship with God, to feel worthy of Hashem's kindness, to feel worthy that good things can come to you, even with all the bad habits and the bad traits and the mistakes that you keep making. Like the Yetzer Hara, the Rebbe's words, and the Rebbe, when he said this, was literally crying. I was listening to the recording, and the Rebbe had like choked up and his tears like flowing down his cheeks, because you can just imagine. Just imagine like the Rebbe is seeing Hashem's kids, and the Rebbe knows Hashem, and the Rebbe knows Hashem's kids, and he's like, you're not seeing yourself. You're looking at yourself in the mirror, and you're seeing all of the things that are wrong with you, and you're identifying yourself as those things. And it's not your fault. It's the Yetzer Hara conniving you. And the Rebbe explains what the Yetzer Hara does, which is that he takes our weakest points, he takes our biggest insecurities, and he says, you are those things. Mi ani umani. Who are you? You are those horrible character traits, and you are those mistakes that you keep making, and you are those traumas that you keep reliving, and you are those triggers that you keep having, and you are those, you are those negative feelings of self-talk, that all those things that we wish that we could be rid of. The Yetzer Hara zones in on them and is like, that's who you are. That's who you are. And then the Yetzer Hara asks the question of, like I said before, who am I when I have all this stuff tied to me, all of these horrible quote unquote things tied to me? Who am I to be experiencing beauty in my life? Who am I to be experiencing God's closeness to me in my life? Who am I to be experiencing, the feeling of kindness and goodness and worthiness? Who am I to be experiencing that? I know who I am. I know what the things that I did yesterday and today. Sorry, I'm back. I know all that stuff. So who am I to be experiencing that? And the words of the Rebbe, it's interesting in case you think that I'm totally far off from the mimer talking about beauty and stuff. The words of the Rebbe are really the Rebbe says, who am I to be building a dira? Who am I to be making this home for Hashem? I know who I am, but the word dira in Hebrew is the same word as hadar. And the Rebbe says it, that hadar is beauty. And so if you think about all the moments in your life that you look in the mirror and you see those negative qualities, especially the ones that, we looked at in our hands at the beginning of this, and you look at those and you say, I see this about me. Who am I to be experiencing beauty in my life, to be experiencing beauty in the people around me, to be experiencing goodness and worthiness and awesomeness and this closeness to Hashem? When I see what I'm holding, I see the negative stuff, I see the bad. So honestly, even as I'm saying it now, it feels true. That feels real. The Yetzer Hara's question really feels legitimate. And it's, the Rebbe says that's the only quote unquote legitimate excuse. And it's not even legitimate, because we're going to see in a minute why it's not legitimate. But that's the only thing preventing you from experiencing a closeness with God, from experiencing the beauty that you essentially are, is the thought that the Yetzer Hara sends you that says that you aren't worthy of experiencing that because fill in the blank. So, but then the Rebbe says something really cool. I think most of these things are pretty cool, which is that the Rebbe's take the Yetzer Hara's question, call it the ego, call it the Yetzer Hara, call it whatever you want, but it's whatever's sending you that voice that is antithetical to the truth, but that feels like the truth. And the Rebbe says, take that question and ask it again. Look in the mirror and say, mi ani uma ani, but then answer it from yourself instead of from the Yetzer Hara's perspective. So, mi ani uma ani, look in the mirror and ask it, who am I? And then the Rebbe says it. The Rebbe says, wanna know who I am? Wanna know who I am? I am a freaking chelek Eloka mimal mamish. I'm a literal piece of God manifested in this world in a godly keli called my body, in a godly vessel called my human flesh and blood and mind and personality and circumstance and family and situation that I'm in and waiting period that I'm in. I am literally God's unity manifested in this world, breathing divinity into existence, because I am nothing but divinity. That's who I am. I am a chelek Eloka. I'm God manifested in this world. And that means I'm simcha, and that means I am beauty, and that means I am confidence, and that means I am joy, and that means I am all the good things that God is. And the Rebbe's not only that, not only are you that now, as you're in this moment of realization where you're realizing that really you are a chelek Eloka, there was even in the moment that you did that negative thing, the sin, so to speak, even in the moment of the disconnect, even in the moment of the trauma or the moment of the bad thing that you experienced, even then you were a chelek Eloka. Even then you were this divine breath breathing itself into existence, God breathing into existence. You never stopped being that. At every point of your journey, at every point of your existence, you never stopped, and you could never stop being the beauty of God manifested, shining in this world. So it's pretty powerful. It's you want to know who I am? You're asking who I am, I'll tell you who I am. I'm a chelek Eloka. I'm God's energy in this world, and nothing can stop me from being that. No mistake, no challenge, no trauma, no victim mentality, no relationship, no negative self-talk, no bad habit, no mistake that I've made 100,000 times, Nothing can stop me from doing that. Even mistakes I'll make in the future, I'll still be that. But then the Rebbe says it's something even cooler. I feel like I keep saying that, but it feels like that for me. I was like, okay, so now you know who you are, but now take that question of mi ani umani and turn it around to the Yetzer Hara. Look at the Yetzer Hara in the face, look at the ego, look at the challenge, look at the whatever it is that is stopping you, the mistake you keep making, the mom, whatever it is that is driving you, making you feel it's like a worthless whatever, and ask it, mi ani umani, who are you? Who are you? What are you made out of? How have you convinced me that I keep getting this alarm. But how have you convinced me that I am that negative thing? Who are you to even be able to convince me of that? And the Rebbe brings an example of when you're trying to answer this question of how the fact that Yidden, how Jewish people are compared to one lamb amongst 70 wolves, which is true. It's what we are. We're this 1% of people, not 1 point, I think it's point something, 0.1% of humanity, or one tiny strip of land in the Middle East, and yet all of nations throughout history have tried to destroy us. There's been very few times that we haven't been being threatened with our very lives, including right now, right? And yet, look around, and I'm here, you guys are here, we're all here. We're here to tell the tale. And that's something that, Mark Twain has a quote about it, I forget what it is now, but scientists can't wrap their minds around it. How has it been possible? All other empires or nations that have tried to be destroyed have been destroyed. But we're here, and we're survived, and we're going to continue to survive, and nobody says that we're going to end up being destroyed. That's the truth. So how is that possible? And the Rebbe explains that it's because, this might go off in 5 minutes, by the way. I just got a notification. But if it does, you can just join again. But the Rebbe explains that how is that possible? It's because the nature of the wolves is to raise up the lambs. In Hebrew, the word nisayon means nes. It means a banner. And I don't know where it explains this in Judaism, but basically it explains that a nisayon is there to lift the person up. That's experiencing the nisayon, that's experiencing the test. The nature of the test is to raise the person up. The nature of the wolves is for the lamb, right? The nature of the nations that have tried to destroy us is for the Jewish people to come closer to themselves, come closer to their relationship with God, come closer to our purpose in this world, come closer to our purpose as the chosen people, chosen to spread light in this world. So they can't destroy us. They were never meant to destroy us. If they were meant to destroy us, then they would have destroyed us. Put it that way. Obviously, if they have not destroyed us, they were never meant to destroy us in the first place. So that's essentially what it is. Every single challenge that we have, if it was meant to destroy you, it would. But it's not. You're here. You're standing. You're upright, and I'm a powerful person. So going back to that thing that you were looking at the beginning, that thing that if you had the opportunity you would disown right now because it's so stressful to you, it's so troublesome to you, it makes you feel so worthless, and just look at it and say, who are you? Who are you? Negative self-talk, who are you? Trauma, mistakes that I keep making, whatever it is. Your DNA is literally the DNA of something that is here for me to come closer to who I really am, to come closer to my relationship with Hashem, to come closer to my inherent beauty and courage and bravery and beauty again and goodness and worthiness and divinity and creativity and all the good stuff that we wish that we were, but that we feel like because of that thing, I'm not. That thing is there to show you that you really are all those beautiful things, and that you're in that field, and that you're face to face with God. That thing is there to teach you that. So it's just really, really powerful. So I guess I just bless us all. And before I finish this, that, I'll just say this. The Rebbe finishes the mimer with something really powerful where he says that the point of this avoda is not to become a tzaddik. The point of this avoda is not to become holier than thou and to stop making mistakes and to stop being triggered and to stop being, somebody who is in the same cycle and to just suddenly be finished with the thing that the point is not to disown the thing that you wanted to disown, basically. That's not the point. That's not our goal here. The goal is to is to find the place inside of you that can look in the mirror and see that thing and know two things. First of all, to be able to see yourself with that thing and to still say, I am a chelek Eloka. I am beauty. With or without that thing, I am beauty. I'm strong. I'm God's energy manifested in this world. I am light. I am everything good that Hashem wants me to be. And number two, to be able to see that thing in the mirror and say, what are you here to teach me? Why have you come to me? What energy do you need me to feel in order to grow, to become the person that I really am, the person that God creates me to be every moment? Why are you here? And so in my opinion, I don't know if this is whatever, but in my opinion, I feel like the feel that we're finding is really in the mirror. We're trying to find God in the mirror, trying to find God in our reflection of all the parts of us that we don't always appreciate, and the parts of us that tell us that we're not even meant to appreciate them. So yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, it's really powerful. It's not easy, but I don't think it's meant to be easy, because if it was meant to be easy, it would be easy. Put it that way. But in the moments that you know something's true when it feels good, and whether it's after I end this thing or now, if you can look in the mirror and do that, find the part of you that can say, I am beauty. I am pretty much the opposite of the thing that you're saying, that those things that you wished you could disown are making you think that you are. So whether it's something that's making you feel unworthy of getting the good thing you're waiting for, or whether it's something that I am, bad because I keep getting triggered. Like, imagine if you could say, I am good because I keep getting triggered. I am powerful because I keep getting triggered. Obviously, Hashem has a lot of what's it called, belief in me, that he thinks that I can work through this tremendously difficult situation. And I am close and in a relationship with God that cannot be broken. And part of this relationship, part of this face-to-face closeness, is all of these things that feel out of place, that feel like they shouldn't be there, that feel that they're threatening, my inherent okayness. That's part of it. And it's my job as someone in this relationship to own those things and to work with them, and to not be afraid of them, and to definitely not let those things stop me from saying, who am I? Yeah, I'm a piece of God. I'm beauty. I'm good. I'm essentially worthy. And I'm in a face-to-face relationship with God. And yeah, I keep saying that's it. I keep thinking of more things. And also, I wrote a bunch of things down that I didn't even really say, but whatever. Yeah, I think there's one more thing to end off with, is that, any relation, a lot of times I feel this way, and I've been feeling it especially recently, is like how do I know? How do I know all this stuff to be true? Like obviously, yeah, everything's a matter of subjectivity. Forget even about that being a religious component, a Jewish thought. That's scientific too, beauty in one country is not beauty in another country, But how do I know this? I don't know. Maybe I actually am not worthy because of the things that are making me feel not worthy. But I think that at the end of the day, in any relationship, I always think about atheists, quote unquote, that get married. Why do they get married? Just as much belief goes into marriage as goes into our relationship with God. Or just as much belief in love. You have to believe. I saw a sign the other day. I keep tangenting, but I saw a sign the other day that says science is real, God is not, love is all there is. And I was like, what? Science can't prove love. How could science prove love? Love is a belief. You can never know that somebody loves you. They can never prove it to you. They can take out the garbage 100,000 times. It's like that song of Fiddler on the Roof. But how do I know I love you? I can't know it. You can never prove it to me. But I believe it. I choose to believe it. It's the greatest gift you can have in a relationship, is to believe that the other person is madly in love with you. And not only that, but to believe that you are madly in love with the other person. So I bless us all that we do the Ani Ladodi part, which is taking the step towards looking ourselves in the mirror and identifying ourselves not with the things that we're doing, not with the mistakes that we're making, not with the negative self-talk that we're having that's literally coming from our ego and our Yetzer Hara, and not from the triggers and not from the traumas and not from all of that stuff, not from any of that stuff, but from the place inside of us that is holy and whole and pure and good and worthy and light and just absolutely beautiful. And that we choose to identify as somebody who is in this face-to-face relationship with God, which means that we're beautiful, which means that we're being danced into being. Like, literally, we're being breathed into existence, meaning we're like frolicking in a field with God, and everything around us is just here for our relationship and for us to grow to become the person that we are, which is all of those good things. So no, nothing is in your way, which doesn't mean that you have to suddenly do this all right now, but it does mean that you have the power to. So when you're ready, you can take that step forwards to once a day looking in the mirror and saying, I am beauty. I am in this face-to-face relationship with God. I am loved by Hashem. I'm wanted by Hashem. I'm wanted in this world by Hashem for a reason, right now, as I am, in this stage of life that I'm in, with these negative qualities that I have. Obviously, I'm wanted because I'm here, you know? And so yeah, no one can prove it to you, but I bless you all to take the step of Ani Ladodi, to take the step forwards, and the Rebbe says that the response is that Hashem promises that when we take the Ani Ladodi, Hashem responds with the Dodi Li. That when you take that step towards finding Hashem in the mirror, you know, Hashem smiles back. So, and Hashem gives you that encouragement of, yeah, I am. And honestly, I see that myself, that when I allow myself to experience this, I find myself in freedom. I find myself with my shoulders back, and I find myself actually being able to find the beauty and the goodness that a moment ago, before I tried to, I never would have imagined I would be able to find. So L'chaim, I bless you all, and thank you for being here, and yeah, I think that's actually it. Well, it's never actually it, that's why I keep continuing, but yeah, there's no pressure to do this avoda. This avoda is an opportunity. Literally, this whole thing is an opportunity. It's not like, oh, now I have to go look in the mirror and figure this out. Like, no. All this means is that that Hashem is waiting for you there. Hashem is waiting for you at the mirror saying, come dance with me, you know, come find your true self. I'll help you. I'll help you find it. That's what Elul is Hashem being available to help us discover the truth that we really are, which is good and definitely good enough. So I'm going to stop this now, but L'chaim, and be in touch with me because I'd love to hear from all of you. Okay, bye.